House Speaker Mike Tiny Johnson is in full panic mode today as two new Epstein bombs just fell on him and Donald Trump. The tipping point has arrived. Welcome to Occupy Democrats. I'm David Reddish, and yes, I'm swollen again today. I apologize. Donald Trump and Mike Johnson are having a rough week, too. Following his embarrassing speech at the UN, as well as the breakdown of an escalator, see our other videos for more on that, Disney backed off their firing of comedian Jimmy Kimmel. And Kimmel returned to the airwaves again last night with smashing ratings. As the smoke clears from both explosions, eyes turn again to the real sword of Damocles in Washington, the Epstein files. Last week, as you may recall, FBI Director Kash Patel struggled to answer questions regarding his reasons for not making the files public, something he and Donald Trump pledged to do during last year's presidential campaign.
Remembering your oath to tell the truth, did you ever tell Donald Trump his name is in the files?
I have never spoken to President Trump about the Epstein files.
Did you ever tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
The Attorney General and I have had numerous discussions about the entirety of the Epstein files and the reviews conducted by our team.
Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
And we have released where President Trump's name is in the Attorney's file.
It's a simple question. Did you tell the Attorney General that the President's name is in the Epstein files?
During many conversations that the Attorney General and I have had on the matter of Epstein, we have reviewed.
The question is simple.
Who
did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files? Yes or no?
Why don't you try spelling it out?
Yes
if you're gonna mock
or no?
I promise that is the worst of the political theater that will be contained in this report. Stay with me, it gets much better. Amid Patel's little meltdown, not to mention his mishandling of the Charlie Kirk shooting, again, see our other videos for more on that, Donald Trump and Mike Johnson have done their best to distract the public from the Epstein scandal. And for the record, they are failing miserably, just like they do with almost everything else. Taking trolling to a whole new level yesterday, an anonymous artist launched a little reminder at Trump and the public that this scandal is not going away.
Also in the district, pop-up art is turning heads on the National Mall. It's a statue depicting the president and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein set up on the lawn near 3rd Street overnight. DC News Now's Marielle Carbone joining us live on the mall now. And Marielle, what are you learning about the people behind this?
Well, Annalisa, they're certainly out here trying to get people's attention. That's really the point of this. Now, this is not the first statue like this to pop up on the mall. In fact, the group behind it has popped up other ones like this going after the president. This specific one focusing in on that alleged relationship between the president and Epstein.
See, didn't I tell you this was fun? And doesn't that just look like a musical number waiting to happen? If there was a Donald Trump Jeffrey Epstein jukebox musical, what song would they sing in that scene? Edge of 17? Too soon? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's move on, shall we? Along with this statue popping up on the National Mall, the Epstein saga has taken a more serious turn. Recall that the Epstein Files Transparency Act, a piece of legislation that would force the release of the Epstein files, is just one vote short of passing in the House, something Tiny Johnson has fought tooth and nail. Well, last night, as the nation's lonely eyes turned to Jimmy Kimmel's comeback, this happened.
In Arizona gave Adelita Grijalva a decisive win in the special election for a House seat previously held by her late father, Representative Raul Grijalva. In a social media post, Grijalva thanked her supporters in Arizona's 7th congressional district, writing, quote, "Now let's get to work." CBS News congressional reporter Torian Small is working on Capitol Hill for us this morning. Torian, great to see you. What is the national significance of this win in Arizona?
Yeah, good morning, Errol. While this victory wasn't necessarily an unexpected outcome, considering this is a very deep blue congressional district in Arizona, this does now shift the scales on the balance of power here in the House of Representatives. That count is now 219 for Republicans, and it will be 214 once Grijalva is sworn in for Democrats. What that means in the short term is some of the bipartisan and at odds controversial legislation could potentially move forward, considering the fact that there are a few Republican defectors in Thomas Massie of Kentucky, Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia, looking to force a vote on releasing the so-called Epstein files. With this, they could have enough votes to do so, Errol.
And Torian, I want to now talk about a potential government shutdown. Here we are again in familiar territory. President Trump pulling out of talks with House and Senate Democratic leaders. Why is that?
Well, President Trump looked at what he called the demands that Democrats are looking to bring to the table in these negotiations and says that they're just off the table. It's non-starters, which is why he, in a Truth Social post, as you can see on the screen now, decided that he will not move forward with these talks. Democrats are obviously saying that this is a slap in the face to any type of bipartisan negotiations.
And there you have it. The balance of power just shifted as a bipartisan group of congresspeople now have enough support to force a vote on the Epstein Files Transparency Act, overriding Tiny Johnson and President Taco's wishes. Adelaida Grijalva will take office as soon as early October, following the congressional recess September 29th. That could mean a deluge of Epstein-related disclosures inside of a month. Furthermore, Grijalva's admission also complicates Mike Johnson's attempt to pass a stopgap measure to keep the government running at the end of this month. Democrats are united in opposition and are demanding that Congress undo some of the budget rescissions, like those for healthcare or public broadcasting, that were passed earlier this year, or cutting funding for ICE raids. Yet somehow, I expect Epstein to remain the big headline overshadowing everything else. Expect Donald Trump to start rage tweeting as usual, and expect the ever-flaccid Tiny Johnson to stammer and stumble to please the taco. And when all comes to light, who will be ensnared in the scandal? And for that matter, when all is known, who will be revealed as covering up for these predators? This is Occupy Democrats.